What is going on, y'all? We are back with another episode of JR Takes. And as always, Ryan and I are coming at you with the latest NFL and Seattle sports news. Ryan, we've got the Steelers coming up on Sunday. But before we get too far into the game ahead, I just wanted to go over, I know we wrapped up our Niner post-game a couple days ago when we did our reaction video, but I did some digging and I was just kind of wanting to, I guess, brush up on our offense a little bit more, and I came across a couple of videos on YouTube as far as film breakdown, and I gotta say, it kind of seemed to me like the offensive timing seemed to be off throughout the whole game, and basically in these videos I saw a couple different plays where Robbie Oots was late to getting his blocking scheme. Sam Darnold was supposed to fake a rollout, but instead he's watching the play, and Nick Bosa sees that and then just ignores him. And so you just have all these different factors coming into play, and I just, I don't know. I don't know if you noticed that or...
I mean, that's to be expected in week one, and a new offensive coordinator with a ton of new players on this team. I also think, just reviewing a lot of the film as well, the Niners defense came into play, and I think that's something we haven't really given them credit for. I think they largely won the game. I mean, Nick Bosa essentially single-handedly won the game at the end. But Nick Bosa and Fred Warner were huge problems in this game. They absolutely blew up like 5 or 6 plays between those two players alone that had a lesser player been at the helm in their place, it probably would have been a good play for us. Our run game, outside of that second drive that we scored our only touchdown, was basically non-existent. They really committed to stopping the run. And then, forcing the fumble on Njigba and forcing the incompletion on Njigba, both huge plays in this game. So, yeah, I would agree with you. I think all the stuff that happened in that game is really correctable. I don't think there was something that screamed like, oh, we don't have the talent to play with the Niners. I don't know how you watch that game and come away with that take at all.
Well, that's kind of my overall outlook is like, okay, like if it's an offensive timing issue, which is what I think it was, ultimately, like that's fixable. We have the talent. They just, like you said, it's week one. And also, I noticed a lot of the plays that were blown up were when Ken Walker was on the field, and it was kind of like what you were saying about us having bad blocking all the time, but it's also like because of the offensive timing is off, like it all just kind of becomes a domino effect. And so, I don't think it's all Ken Walker. I take back what I said.
I'm glad you're able to see that, because I don't want to seem like a crazy Walker defender, but it's like it was uncanny every time he was on the field. The blocking was atrocious.
Yeah.
But it was also bad for Charbonnet in the second half, too.
Well, and also there was also a play where it was we put Walker in motion and we handed him off the ball in shotgun, but he got late to his spot, and so that's kind of also why the play got blown up. So the blocking is bad, but also I feel like Ken Walker, I don't know, maybe his timing might have been off on certain plays too.
Well, he didn't really play at all in the preseason or really in camp. So, again, back to the whole week one thing, you have to wonder if that's a factor. Because there's a difference between going through walkthroughs and then trying to get by Nick Bosa, after the ball is put in your hand. As frustrating of a loss as it was, and it could very easily come back to haunt us this season, given a divisional game, conference game, home game, all of the above, where it is on the schedule. Now the Niners are beat up. It's not the end of the world. The sky isn't falling. In fact, it might be falling more in San Francisco, to shift gears a little bit, because we did not win the game, but we may have won the war, because we beat the crap out of them physically in this game. Just looking at their injury report.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's supposed to be out 2 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, Kittle
that
on
could
IR.
ruin their season.
Trent Williams was beat up in this game. Jawan Jennings is out. That Julian Love Byron Murphy sack there was only sack of the game, and I guess we pressured Brock Purdy on over half of his dropbacks. Didn't really translate into a lot of sacks, but he's a frustrating quarterback to play against because he kind of has a similar degree of escapability that like young Russ had. It's just hard to get him. He's really quick. He's not fast. He's quick. And when it comes to evading defenders in short spaces like that, being quick is more useful than being fast. But yeah, the Niners are beat up, and luckily for them, they do have the Saints on the docket this week. But the Saints did just almost beat the Cardinals, and right now,
and they were playing at home.
Yeah, yeah. So
it's no gimme for the Niners.
It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out as the season unfolds. But yeah, it's funny how you get all these preseason expectations and offseason expectations, then week one hits, and you're like, okay, this is what's really going on in the NFL this year. You finally get some real data that matters, and I'm just glad that it's back and we're talking about it.
It's great, and that's also like why I wasn't that heartbroken we lost, because I'm like, all right, we lost, but at least there's another chance to make it up next Sunday. That's what's great.
Yeah.
Is now that the games are back.
Do you have anything else to say about the Niners game, or do you want to?
No, let's just go into the Steelers preview. Do you want to kind of give your predictions and then give reasons why, or do you want to just talk about how you think the game's going to go? Because I have a couple questions, like Witherspoon, is he going to be playing? Because I noticed he had a knee injury and did not play.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was not a participant in practice. I believe it was either today or yesterday. But that kind of ties into us being able to stop DK. I mean, I know Witherspoon plays nickel from time to time, but why am I blanking on his name? Reek Woolen had a very forgettable game, and I heard Mike McDonald throughout the week saying we'll see as far as him starting in this game. So I don't really know what to expect. Maybe we'll see a little bit more Joe Buary on Sunday, but.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not knowing what to expect is all Mike McDonald really intended out of that comment, too, because as, mad as everyone is rightfully at Tariq Woolen for his performance last game, he's the guy on this team I think you would want on DK because they have similar body types, and he's faster than DK, so he'll be able to keep up with him downfield, which is going to be a major factor. He doesn't tackle like Witherspoon, though, and the Steelers did employ quite a few screen passes to DK last week against the Jets, so that's something to look out for, certainly. But when I watched our defense last week, I didn't see a team that had a problem tackling. I saw guys rallying to the ball. The only really bad missed tackle play was when Leonard Williams tried to just truck stick Christian McCaffrey and ended up launching him 20 yards.
It literally looked like a play in Madden.
Yeah.
But the game glitched out and then the tackle was missed and just got 8 extra yards.
Yeah, he made him go from 5 to 20 miles an hour in half a second. I obviously if Witherspoon misses this game, that's a huge factor that I was not aware of before he brought it up. I feel like he'll find a way to play. I didn't hear anything about him coming out of the game, so I'd be surprised if he didn't play. It sounds like we are going to be down Nick Emanwari for a few weeks, though, which
with
is
the high ankle sprain.
Really unfortunate because, he didn't get a whole lot of action, but he immediately was in the backfield in those first couple plays, and it clearly looked like he's a guy that we were going to feature in the defensive game plan. So that's unfortunate.
Okay, so this Witherspoon did not practice yesterday.
Yeah, well, I feel like until you get the Friday practice report and then the designation going into it, questionable, whatever, I think they got rid of doubtful. I think it's just questionable or out now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they did that, but whatever. So we'll see on that. Hopefully he plays because I think this is going to be a tall order if he misses this game.
Any of these names on the Steelers?
Joey Porter Jr. not practicing is a big deal for them. TJ Watt, he's probably at the age where he practices maybe once a week anyways, so I wouldn't read too much into that. He'll probably play. But we're 1 week into this thing, and every team's already getting banged up. That's just how football goes. But kind of getting into the matchup a little bit, the Steelers' offense really, actually both sides of the ball really surprised me on the Steelers last week for different reasons.
That was the biggest surprise game, I think, of week 1.
Yeah,
for me.
Aaron Rodgers looking like 2017, 2016 Aaron Rodgers at age 41. And the Steelers' defense looking so bad against a quarterback and offense that we thought was going to be so bad. If Jalen Ramsey doesn't, make that huge hit on Garrett Wilson to jar the ball loose on 4th down, the Jets might have got the walk-off field goal in that game. It was looking like we were headed in that direction. So pretty big surprise, but
I thought Justin Fields' play was, I know it's not Seahawks related, but that was maybe the biggest surprise on Sunday.
Some of the throws he made were legit 10 out of 10.
Just
throws.
The fact that he could put up over 30 points like that, we never see him do that. At least, and if he is doing that, the game is over. So
I guess one thing no one really brought up all that much is he did play with Garrett Wilson at Ohio State, so there is chemistry there pre-existing, and Garrett Wilson kind of went off in this game, so maybe that's what he needed. I don't know.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see from us in this Steelers game is maybe get someone else besides JSN involved. I mean, I did love the fact that, okay, we see you can take over a game. That's great. I kind of expected you to, but now I saw it, so I feel good about it, but where the hell is Cooper Kupp?
I was going to say I know this is a little premature, but after 1 week, to me, he's on washed watch because that was a bad first game for Cooper Kupp. I don't think he's washed yet, but I need to see more than 2 catches for 5 yards or whatever.
I guess, yeah, and he did, in some of those videos I watched earlier today, he was blocking his ass off downfield.
He does,
He's still very capable in that regard, but we just need both. We can't have one or the other. It has to be both, or else you're not worth what we're giving you.
Yeah, and we need Horton and Arroyo to immediately develop as well.
Yeah, Arroyo, he had 1 catch?
He had 1 catch, but I watched some film and it was pretty this looks like your first NFL game. He was not getting open. Yeah, suffice to say. So we have a lot of soul searching to do after last week, I think. And we're turning around 7 days later, going to Pittsburgh and playing a team that was really hot in their home opener. I think this one is going to be a tall task to start to get into predictions. I had faith that we could pull this off, but I just found out we're wearing our white road jerseys with the gray pants. We never fucking win with that combination. So that kind of put the nail in the coffin for my prediction. I think the defense will keep us in this game, but I think it's like a 24-21 kind of loss, unfortunately. I don't want it to be the case. Starting 0-2 is a very bad indicator for your playoff chances. But we have made the playoffs starting 0-2 multiple times in the past. We have some really bad teams coming up soon, starting with the Saints week after next. So it's not the end of the world. I think we'll survive it, but I do think we drop one here on the road.
That's fair. I actually have us winning this game.
Oh.
And for reasons being that this is a game I feel like similar to Atlanta last year when we went on the road and we just kicked the shit out of them. I kind of feel like everyone expects us to lose this game. And I don't know. I just have a feeling like we're going to fix the things that I saw that needed fixing in our offense, and Mike McDonald's going to have these guys prepared, and we're going to go into Pittsburgh and steal a dub, win 24-23.
Oh, wow. Okay, so almost same score, but us with the 24. I like it. I mean, I'd love to see it. I obviously am rooting for that outcome.
When do I ever have us winning games like this?
Not very often.
Almost never. So I think we're going to end. Like the last game we played against Pittsburgh, they humiliated us. So, I mean, I know the team is completely different. That was back when Pete was coaching us, but still, we gotta make things right.
Yeah, that's the kind of game that leaves a bad taste in your mouth for a few years, though, because it was horrible.
Yeah. But I guess moving on to if we pretty much wrapped up Seahawks talk for the week. We do our good mid and ugly session.
Let's do it.
Covering the league as a whole. So, Ryan, why don't you go first today, and we'll just kind of go back and forth until we get to our ugly.
All right, yeah, so for the good, I have Justin Herbert finally ending his man streak and showing the potential that people have been talking about for 5 years in a big game. I know he's looked good his whole career, but this was prime time. This was, the team of the NFL of the 2020s you're playing against. And he absolutely dominated. He played one of the best quarterback games I've seen in recent memory. It was beautiful. Love seeing the Chiefs lose. They're so annoying. It was just great. It was surprising because they really aired it out in L.A., where they were in Brazil, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When under a Harbaugh regime like this, where they just took Omarion Hampton pretty early in the draft, I thought they would be ground and pounding it, but
same.
They let Justin Herbert do his thing, and when the game was on the line, 3rd and long. They put the ball in his hands. They don't do a draw of the middle to run out more clock, and he scrambles and gets the game-sealing first down. So just awesome job.
This might have been that.
That is that play.
Yeah.
And that's the face of a guy that just took out Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and it was just a great way to start the year. The Chiefs just losing immediately.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about them having a stupid undefeated season where they barely win all their games. That's a good pick. I kind of didn't really think about going – well, actually, that's not true. I was going to say I didn't really think about going individual player, but then I looked down at my ugly, and I'm excited to talk about that. But for my good, I have the Green Bay Packers, believe it or not. They kind of kicked the Lions' ass. They won by 2 scores. And I was looking at their stats against the run. They didn't give – I think it was something like less than 80 yards on the ground.
I had Gibbs in fantasy. I know how good they did.
Yeah, I was kind of like, damn, the Packers. And to top that off, the Packers got owned in their division last year. They were 1-5. They only beat the Bears one time. So I think just getting the Lions monkey off your back and winning that game to start off the year, I like the Packers. If they can win that division, I think they're going to be.
Honestly, the NFC, I think, is pretty damn weak this year. Like, the Eagles are the obvious favorite. But to me, right now, the Packers look like they could be the team of the NFC.
Yeah, so the Packers, we'll keep them on watch as far as my good is concerned. And then I guess I'll just go into the mid. Apparently, we have the same mids, but I've got the Denver Broncos with their mid-ass win over the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. I mean, Bo Nix had 3 turnovers. He was missing layups left and right. I think he missed a crucial 3rd down, 4-yard pass over the middle where the guy was wide open. Then at the end of the game, it was 4th and 8 at the 50, and with 50 seconds left, I think the Titans had 2 timeouts. The fucking Broncos went for it, and Bo Nix threw one of the worst passes I've ever seen. And it was a turnover, and thankfully they stopped the Titans because they were up at a touchdown. But it was like,
what are you doing?
You can't play like that against good teams, and that's why I've thought all off season and entering into the year that the Broncos have been the most overrated team of any team.
Yeah, to echo on all those points, I also had the Broncos as my mid selection this week because that was fucking disgusting, and you really don't deserve a win for playing that putrid on offense all day, which the Broncos did.
They had more turnovers than the Titans.
Yeah. Cam Ward is playing in his first NFL game, throwing to 42-year-old Tyler Lockett and who else, and handing the ball off to Tony Pollard, who hasn't been relevant in years. The Titans had the number 1 overall pick for a reason. They have a long way to go before they're competing, and if they could get out of their own way, they might have beat the Broncos in their home opener to start the season. Mm-hmm. That's as mid as it gets. Bo Nix looked horrible. He looked about as bad as when we played against him in week 1 last year. So I don't know if maybe he has some of the Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, I'm going to be the worst player in week 1 effect going on and then be good. We'll see. That remains to be seen. But, yeah, just a gross performance. And
I found this video of like someone just was like, he's pretty bad, but they somehow won. Just like, so they just had like, because that was kind of a bad throw.
Oh, is that the pick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to – I almost picked – it was hard to pick a mid and a bad this week because I really wanted to talk about Caleb Williams, and maybe I will at some point before we sign off on this one. But
you will.
While we're talking about gross quarterback play, I got to get to the ugly, which, oh, my God, Tua turned the ball over. What the fuck was that? I understand the Dolphins are a little depleted and Tyreek Hill is getting older, but, like, you looked so fucking just hopeless at the quarterback position. You've been playing in this league for 5 years. You didn't even score against this Colts team that is going to go like 7-10 until garbage time. Not even garbage time, but like we're already at the dump time. And it was 20-0 at half. It was 30-0 before they even scored. 3 turnovers. 4 sacks, I believe. Just fucking disgusting.
I also heard during the game that Daniel Jones and the Colts scored on every drive.
Every drive.
They haven't done that since Peyton Manning was their quarterback.
Yeah, you made Daniel Jones look like Peyton Manning. You get the ugly.
Ryan, don't worry, I got it queued up for you.
Okay, what do we got here?
For your...
Oh, no. Don't do it. Oh, my God. That was so bad.
Well, that's a good ugly take, Ryan. I like it. But for me, nothing is uglier than Colby. Will you pull up the picture I sent you earlier today?
Yeah.
Is it Mr. Fingernails?
Yeah. Nothing gets much uglier than this. You have Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. First of all, what are you wearing underneath your uniform, my guy? You're wearing just an undershirt. It's untucked in your pants. You look like a fucking teenager that like has never spoken to like a female.
That does look like what I would wear at practice in junior high.
Like what are
like
you
literally,
doing?
I rocked the Caleb Williams fit when I was like 14.
But aside from his fucking goofy ass look, the fucking Bears blew a 17-6 fourth quarter lead to J.J. McCarthy, who looked like one of the worst quarterbacks we've seen in the pro.
Who won Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC this week?
Which, yeah, I'll get to that.
Ridiculous.
I'll get to that in a second. But the fucking Bears only had 1 offensive touchdown entering the fourth quarter. You forget the pick 6 was how they got 7 of their points. The Caleb Williams was how they got their other 7, the rushing touchdown. So it's not like he's sitting in the pocket picking players apart. And that, to me right there, is kind of why I'm out on Caleb. I think this game, like, I still have yet to see from him, okay, yeah, like, you look comfortable playing this position right now. It's like the only times he ever does anything is when he's running out of the pocket and the play's blown up or whatever. Like, he doesn't look comfortable. In every game I've seen him play in. Even when he's running, he looks, I don't even know, it's weird. And
you know what I see when I watch Caleb Williams? I see someone that is trying to look cool and like look like he's making an incredible play on every throw instead of just having consistency and a repeatable throwing motion and platform. His feet aren't set. He's like, his body is not pointing like, you know, you want to like plant your front foot and your shoulder at where you want the ball to go and then rip it. He's like it's like he's trying to give himself a faster release without finishing the mechanics. And you see it like he just is sailing on these throws. He's spraying everywhere. And then you'll see there'll be a play where all clicks and he does look like an amazing Mahomes-esque, you know, off-platform type of throw, and you're like, oh, that's why you were picked number 1 overall. It's like, it's great that you can do that. Work on doing just the fucking Jared Goff stuff.
Yeah,
for a
he
minute.
misses way too many layups.
Yeah.
His accuracy is like, okay, this is Mitchell Trubisky.
That's
like,
why Anthony Richardson is sitting on a bench behind Daniel Jones because he doesn't throw with accuracy. That is the quickest way above all other factors to be out of here in the NFL.
Yeah,
if you're not accurate, you're gone.
And I think Caleb Williams has demonstrated all of those, acts of not being a quarterback in the NFL.
What's crazy, too, is every other quarterback from the 24 draft has looked better at that specific aspect of the game than Caleb.
Which brings me to J.J. McCarthy. He was, as far as my opinions are concerned, he was the one I was least highest on out of all the quarterbacks coming in the NFL. And I don't know. I'm going to need to see him do a little more. It was kind of incredible that he did what he did in the fourth quarter because of how bad he looked the other three quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I turned the game. I thought the game was over.
Yeah.
I think I checked during our last podcast on Monday. It was like, oh, shit, the Vikings are going to take the lead.
I said during our podcast, how are the Bears losing now?
Yeah.
And
because it was going on?
Yeah, it was happening during the podcast.
I had it up on my phone or something.
But yeah, I just the fact that J.J. McCarthy on game one looked better than Caleb in the fourth quarter, I'm just like, that is a huge red flag for me, and I just don't feel like Caleb is going to turn it around.
Well, and especially because they got Ben Johnson, who was like the dream hire
and
of
Caleb
everyone.
isn't his guy. They're going to go with Ben over Caleb if Caleb struggles.
You think so?
100%.
It's just interesting because, they draft Trubisky high, they draft Justin Fields high, they draft Caleb Williams number 1 overall.
But they never had the coach. Now they have the coach. They have the coach, and he can go get his quarterback.
Well, the thing I think with Ben Johnson, it remains to be seen if he is a good head coach. He's a great coordinator.
I think I've liked every press conference I've seen him in. He seems like a hard ass.
I mean, I admittedly haven't seen anything like that, but
and I think that's
what I mean, though. It's like
Caleb Williams needs.
You like Robert Saleh, for example, great defensive coordinator, got washed as a coach, and I think there's multiple factors for that, but it doesn't always translate.
Yeah.
Having a great schematic mind doesn't necessarily make you a good motivator of men. So,
yeah,
that's the kind of soft touch to being a coach that they don't really talk about when you're hiring people. But Caleb,
it does remain to be seen.
I think, to agree with you, people were getting open in Ben Johnson's offense. DJ Moore was wide open multiple times and just balls not even close. So I really think what they need to do is whoever the quarterback coach is for Caleb Williams needs to work with him on his mechanics. They need to work with him on his mentality, i.e. ego, and be like, okay, when you're on the run, scrambling, the plays broken down, go with your instinct. When you're trying to work within the structure, get your fucking platform set and get some repeatable mechanics.
And get rid of the ball.
Yeah, so you're not spraying everywhere and quit trying to look like you're a fucking superhero on every throw. Because that's what I see, anyways.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with any of that. You want to move on to the power rankings?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So, I guess we'll just kind of... I'll give mine first. Or do you want me to...
Why don't you just do all 10, then I'll do
all right,
my
Colby.
10.
Here's who we got. Number 1, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. We got the Buffalo Bills at 2. We got the Bengals at 3. I know.
That's interesting.
Let me explain. We got the Packers at 4. We got the Chargers at 6. At 5. Sorry. Chiefs 6. We got the Commanders at 7. Buccaneers 8. Steelers 9. Ravens 10.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And yeah, I have 2 teams with losses in my top 10. Just because it's week 1, the Colts won 30-7. I don't know. I think the Chiefs will bounce back. No, not to bring Will Smith into this conversation, but I think they will, and I'm just not ready to write them off. I almost wanted to put them in my top 5, but because the Chargers beat them, I had to put the Chargers over them. And the Bengals at 3, we don't normally see Joe Burrow and company win those games that he won on Sunday. So
That's true.
The fact that he did pull it out, maybe this could be a sign of the Bengals being a top-seeded team this season.
Well, and they actually had a defense too, which was the biggest concern coming into the offseason. So I see the logic. I'm just like, whoa, 3,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, why not?
Let's say the Seahawks won, like instead of Sam Darnold throwing or like that thing happening, but he threw a touchdown and we won that game. Would the Seahawks be on your top 10?
Yeah, they would replace the Ravens.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, because our defense
I
looks
love
good.
seeing the Seahawks on your guys' top 10, but it's just like you
Yeah,
can't have it when you lose.
it's gonna. I'll just spoiler alert. It'll be a minute for me before
Yeah.
they're on the top. They got to prove it to me. Because when I watched the NFL this weekend, I feel like it was pretty clear which the top teams, who they are. I have many of the same teams in my top 10. So to start it off, I actually have the Bills. Watching that Bills-Ravens game, I thought those were the 2 best teams I watched this weekend. That was a incredible game. I cannot believe the Ravens found a way to lose that. That thing was wrapped midway through the 4th quarter. And you'd think with the team that's running the ball with such dominance like the Ravens were, how can you possibly come back? Well, Derrick Henry fumbles and chaos ensues, and there you go. But I have the Ravens at number 2 for that reason. I just think.
Wow, that is a huge.
Yeah, I just think, that offense is so ruthless for both those teams. I think they're going to be so hard to stop down the stretch. Number 3, I have the Eagles. I thought, Jalen Carter getting disqualified from the game immediately was a factor. But I don't. They look like they were still partying over the Super Bowl a little bit. The Cowboys easily could have taken that game had things worked out. Had CD just made a couple catches, But they win. They get the win. They move on. Number 4, I'm going to just go ahead and put the Chargers. They looked fantastic. I hate Jim Harbaugh, but he's a great coach. He's coaching them up really well there. And Justin Herbert looks like he's ready to play this year. Moving on after that, I'd probably put the Chiefs about here. They still look really good. They're annoying, and I hate them, but I mean, they're still a top 5 roster in this league.
Yeah.
Moving on at this point, I'd probably put the Packers. I think the Packers are a candidate to possibly shoot up in the top 5, maybe even top 3 here in a few weeks if they keep looking like that, as you alluded to, and you're good. Packers look awesome. When we played them in preseason, I was like, this looks like a good team, and that definitely translated because they dominated what was kind of the darling in the NFL last year, the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, let's go Commanders and then Bucks. I guess. Shoot, you have those in the same order. I didn't even think about that.
That's a pretty respectable spot to put them.
I think both these teams, because of their divisions that they play in, I know the Commanders obviously play in the East with the Eagles, but I think they can keep up with the Eagles with what they got on offense right now and Jaden Daniels, and their defense obliterated the Giants, who we didn't talk about. I almost made them my ugly, but there was some uglier performances, so they got saved.
Yeah.
Up next, probably have the Bengals at 9. I think once they hit their stride, they're another candidate to kind of, at the very least, shoot up over the last 2 teams I just mentioned.
Once they hit their target.
Yeah, once they hit that target. But I don't know. I feel like if you almost lose to Joe Flacco, you're not in my top 5.
That's
at
fair.
least this week. Then rounding out the top 10, you could go Steelers here. I thought about it. I want to see how we do against them, and then maybe I'll put them here. I'm going to go the Rams at 10. They look like they're going to be annoying as hell this year, again, as long as Stafford is healthy. I think they're definitely still the favorite in the NFC West right now. But that's a big if. I mean, there was rumors that Stafford had died all summer, and it turns out those were unfounded. But, I mean, when he's out there, they're really hard to stop, and this defense, I don't know how the Rams do it. They just keep finding guys that just plug in that you haven't heard of, like, Braden Fisk and other guys on that team. and they just deliver consistently. And to me, that's been the most underrated aspect for why the Rams have been such a problem under McVay is their defense has given us hell every year.
Yeah, I know. Fuck the Rams. That's why I didn't put it back.
Yeah, but pretty similar selection of teams overall. I think the Rams and Steelers are the only swap of teams in our top 10, and I it's not surprising. I think there was a really clear dichotomy last week of who the good teams are right now, but it's a long season. Things change often, especially once the weather gets cold. So
yeah,
it's gonna be fun to look back at this in like 9 weeks and be like, whoa, we are dumb.
Yeah. Speaking of cold weather, we got the I'm pretty much, that's a wrap for me on the NFL.
I was going to talk about Mr. Unlimited looking really bad, but what more is there to say?
That's to be expected.
It's
Do we
been
need to talk
3
about
years
that?
of this. Yeah. It's just sad. Like, dude, you should just retire.
I just don't care about him anymore. Like,
I don't really either.
Whatever.
Like, I remember the good times fondly, and like those 10 years are as valuable to me as any sports memory, but like it's just we're not even watching the same player now.
well, to me, like last year it was fun when he started doing good, but then like when games mattered, he like folded like a cheap tent, and I'm
Well, he's
like,
on the fucking Giants. How
He still thinks he has his like 28-year-old body that can move, but he just doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, once Cam Newton couldn't really move anymore, like he was washed at 29. So
Yeah.
it's not common that you see a mobile quarterback play into their 40s, but
yeah,
Russell Wilson's going to be like 38 or something this year. He's getting up there.
mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
anywho.
Yeah, well, that was all I had for NFL news. As I was saying, speaking in cold weather terms, the baseball season's coming to a close. We're getting closer to October, and the Mariners could be in first place with a win today.
They deserve to be talked about again. Just
won-
as you were saying, I think last time you're like, things change really quick in baseball, but they've won what, like 4 in a row?
5.
Five,
So last
okay.
night,
Dude, that's
Colby was
so-
actually at the game.
Oh yeah.
Park in the park, dude. Shout
Very
out to Park in
nice.
the park. They ran that so smoothly, like a bunch of freaking dogs, and like it was so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But they pulled it off in the bottom of the 12th inning last night to
Oh,
win their
wow.
5th in a row, and the Astros lost earlier today. So if they can, and so now we're a half game back. If we win today, we are tied with them. There's no current tiebreaker because I believe we have the same exact record against each other right now. But we do have the tiebreaker over the Guardians and the Rangers, who are right on our tail for the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Royals keep losing, so they're 4 games back. So they're slowly getting out of the picture. And then we're 2.5 games behind the Red Sox and the Yankees. So really, as long as we just keep winning at home, we'll be fine.
Well, and I was looking at the schedule down the stretch. It looks like we have a pretty easy home slate, and then 6 games on the road that are going to be kind of tough. And then we play like the Rockies somewhere in there.
We play them right before the Dodgers, and the Dodgers is the last series of the season. So
we play the Astros one more time too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So everything's out in front of them. If they just, I think they're playing just a best of 3 against the Astros,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they win that one, it's looking very good that they're at least going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm very confident, especially with being on our 5-game win streak right now, that we'll get the job done against the Angels tonight.
We should just watch this walk off from last night. It's
Oh, yeah.
really cool
Yeah.
to watch, and the announcer's pretty funny.
Oh, that's right.
Swing it away! Leo Rivas! What have you done?
Damn.
Wow! He walks it off.
I gotta say, playing softball has definitely made me like appreciate pro baseball more.
Yeah.
It just like the ease
The
in
magic
which they
is here,
hit
everybody.
that insanely
It is
fast
here
pitch
at T-Mobile.
400 feet is fucked up because we haven't hit one 300 feet on a slow pitch softball.
Yeah,
So,
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, they're damn good.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, I think that's where we'll wrap things up today. looking forward to the game on Sunday, and hopefully we'll be in a good enough mood to do a reaction video on Sunday. Because I never have the heart to do it on. I kind of like doing them on Monday for that reason, just because it's.
I feel like your bias is less after a loss, especially that one.
I wouldn't have had any analysis. I would have just been like, Tariq Woolen fucking sucks. That would have been like a 20-minute podcast of that.
Yeah.
At least for me.
But all right, well we'll probably shoot for like Monday night or Tuesday night, something after the week's over.
Yeah.
Unless we win.
Yeah,
then we'll be really
we'll
happy.
see what
we'll
happens.
Do something. But all right, well thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep. See you next time.